Hello, another quick training for you today on how we add share buttons to our blog pages in Kajabi. So some of you may or may not be aware, but this is not something that Kajabi can do out of the box, i.e. we can't create a blog and then have a little spot where we go, great, now we want to add share buttons so that the world can share your blog. So we have to use a third-party plugin tool to make this happen. And I am currently on a client site, which I thought would be the perfect opportunity to show you guys how to actually set this up. Now, there's a couple of different plugin tools that you can use. For what we're going to be showing today, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm using one called addthis. So the first thing that you need to do is you are going to go over to addthis. You will find them addthis.com. Let's get them up so you can actually see this in action. And you are literally just going to go get started, it's free, because they're like, for what we need, it's free. So you would click on get started, it's free, and then you're going to go through the motions of actually setting up what it is that you need. So because it's recognizing that we're already logged in, it just basically wants to take me to the account that we already have set up. But all it's going to ask you is to put in your email address and your website, password. Off you go, create an account. Once you've created an account, you're going to come in here and you are going to click on Add New Tool. So there's a couple of different tools that we can add to our Kajabi page. And first of all, I'm going to show you. So obviously we have this one, which is one that runs down the left-hand side of the screen. And people are able to click on these and share our blog posts, which is what we want. The other one, which I know a lot of people like, is to have what we call an inline share. So the way I've set this up is an inline share sits at the bottom of a blog post. And both of these have been done in a way so it's automatic. So this is always going to be here. If you wanted to be able to have this inline one here actually within the post, then it's something that you would have to apply or do yourself in every single post. But we want to try and make this extremely efficient so that there's nothing that you have to remember to do when you're doing a post. So the way we have it set up is that you don't have to remember. This is all embedded and it will just appear at the bottom of every post, and it will permanently appear down the left-hand side of your blog post as well. So how do we do it? So once you have your addthis account set up, the two tools that we want, we're going to start with the one that doesn't require you to have access to the code area in Kajabi, because one of these does. So if we click Add New Tool, you're going to go through and you say, well, I want to add share buttons because I want these to be shared. So our options for share buttons are floating, inline, and then you have expanding, image sharing, pop-up. There's a whole lot of different ones that you can actually choose from. We've already got our tools in place, so I just want to show you that's where you go. So let's start with the floating one. So when you click floating, it's going to bring you into this page and you're going to have some options. So you can either use the one that addthis has already set up for you, which they have recommended, or you can do one where you go and select all the services that you want to appear down the left-hand side of your page. So we're just going with the 4 that we currently have. But feel free, you can obviously go and add more in there. Then you can move along to change the design aspect of it. So on the mobile, so you're able to click up here just to make sure what it's going to look like. Do you want them to be large buttons? Do you want them to be small? I like them to be small, otherwise it can get in the way of what people are reading. It's all fairly self-explanatory. You just move through each of these, have a look at like whatever the setup is. You decide what is going to work best for you and what you want on your site, and that's it. So once you've updated your tool and you have that tool in place, you're then going to go over to get the code, and you'll see here it gives you a few options. We want to click on the HTML website. That's the one we need. So as we move down, our instructions are simple. Here's your unique code. Click the code, copy it to the clipboard. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. So we're going to click copy to the clipboard. You're going to go over to your Kajabi site. Then you are going to go, oh, actually, before we do that, sorry, I've skipped a step. The one thing that we want to do first, where is it? Going to our tools. We want to do the settings back in here. Where is it? On this one. Okay, so I forgot to do this one with you. We need to go into our behavior section. This is really important. So you need to have a think. Where do you want these share buttons to appear? Are you okay with these buttons appearing on every single page of your website? Or did you want to pick the pages that appear so it's not annoying? So do you want them on your home page, or do you only want them on your blog pages or, individual blog posts? So this is where you go and choose where you want this to appear. So I've said here, I don't want them on Laurie's homepage, and I only want them to appear on all the individual blog posts to share. Like we could also do it this way. So let's just grab Laurie's URL, and if we put that in there as well, okay, good, and then update the tool. So once we've done that, then you're going to go and get the code. Once again, you're going to copy the code, so it's now copied to our clipboard. You're going back into your Kajabi account, into down the bottom here where it says settings on the left hand side. Under site settings, you're going to click site details. Then you're going to scroll down, and you will find there's a spot down here where it says page scripts. Okay, and you are literally just going to pop this code in the page script area, and then you are going to click save. So what's going to happen is when you now pop back out to your website and you can hit the refresh button, you should see these now appearing down the left hand side. Now, if we go back out to our blog page, we can now see that they're on our blog page as well. And they shouldn't be on any other page that we've created, because we've told addthis it's only going to be on the blog pages. Okay, so that's the real quick, simple way of being able to get third-party, free, share this buttons on your blog pages on your Kajabi website. Now, if you want to do an inline version of this, then there is going to be a couple of extra steps, and this is only going to apply for those people that have the ability to edit the code area of their Kajabi account. So I am going to quickly jump over to show you how you would do that. So in your website design area, you are going, hang on, let's get this in so you can actually follow me from the beginning. So website design, you're going to click manage themes. When you get to the manage theme, whatever the live theme is, you're going to click on our 3 menu dot, and then you're going to open up edit code. So this is only for you if your plan allows you to actually edit the code. If you don't have a plan that lets you do that, then at least you'll be able to put them running down the left hand side. You just won't be able to put them in line using this method. Okay, so let us go back over to our addthis. So further down in the code page where we were, we're going to see down here, set up inline tools. So if you want to activate the inline tool or tip jar, then we also need this additional code. So once again, we're going to copy that code, go back over to our Kajabi edit code area. Under templates is where you want to be. You are going to find the blog post liquid. And then in your blog post liquid, in this section here where it says, so you've got div class section body col -lg-9, and then you have a section underneath which says blog _ post _ body. Under there, what you're going to do is post in the code that you have just been given. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to remove this for now. So this is what yours would look like if you popped in here. So you are going to put a space in there, and you're going to go to the very beginning, and you're going to paste in the code that you've just grabbed, and then you are going to click save. And that is going to then add the inline code. We'll just refresh over here to the bottom of your blog post, as we see here. So obviously, many people are able to actually put it within their blog post. To do that, you have to actually go into every single blog post and put the code. So if we pop in here, so just grab whatever blog post that you're working in, okay? And you would have to actually use the code editor and put that code in here to have the code put in. So if you don't want to have this appearing on every single page automatically, and you don't have access to your code editor, this is how you would get it in. It's just a little bit more work because you have to actually go and paste the code in every single time. So hopefully that gives you an explanation on how this works. Let's have a look. If we go back over, let's see if we can add another one in here. So add new tool, let's do a share button just to show. What if we did one on image sharing? See how we've got here? Let's have a look how that one might work. So we want to, yep, we'll just leave that. The number of services, that's fine. The default color is fine. Let's do small so it's not too overtaken. And then we want position is fine. So then we also have the pages, because this is the other thing. So maybe you only want to have it on the images again. So hide on the home page. Let's just activate this tool just to see what it does on the page. So you can see if you want this, where you would actually go put it. So now we have our image sharing tool on. Let's go over to get the code and see if there's anything extra that we have to now add in here. So no, so let's refresh over now here and see what it's actually done to our images and see if that has worked. Not on the home page because we don't want it there. Okay, so now that we've come back over to the website, if we hover over an image, yay, we'll now be able to see that we now have share buttons on our images as well that appear when you hover over the image. So that's another thing that you can actually add to the site as well. And all of this has been set up for free. And don't forget, you're able to go in here and decide if you only want this to show or appear on certain pages. So that's another tool that we can use. Let's just turn that one off for now because I know Laurie didn't necessarily want that one. But that is how we would actually be able to do it. Let's go into our inline and just have a look at something in here. Let's turn these ones off and have a look at our styling, standard response. Okay, so this was the other thing too to keep in mind too. If you have branding colors, you're able to go and set the branding colors in the design area. This is for the inline tools. Style is standard responsive. Yep, that's fine. Rounded corners we've chosen. Network names is fine, so everything else is good in there. Share counter type. So you could actually also have like a share counter on there if you wanted to have that on there. Hide on these devices, no, that's fine. And once again, we can determine where we want that to appear if that's going to be hidden on the home page. Okay, so that's fine. Click on that one and then update the tool, get the code. And we have the code there, which we're already showing inline. So let us see if there's a way. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So let's grab that code and we're going to go back over to the Kajabi account, which is in the source code area within our blog. So remember I've said now, let's see if we can actually do it for you without having to get into the back end, your code editor. So we're going to click on our source code and let's just see if we were to pop this anywhere, like let's just say in the middle of our blog post. Okay, so I'm going to pop this code in here and go okay, and then I can see that it's added a space in there, but we're not going to be able to see that unless we actually go and preview that post. So let's just go and preview that to see if that has now gone and embedded the actual inline share codes or plugin buttons within the blog post itself. Aha, so there you go. So if you don't have access to your code editor and you want to be able to add in share buttons within a blog post, you're still able to do it. It just means that this isn't going to be something that's automated for you. You're going to have to remember to add this little snippet of code for every blog post you do. So there's two ways you can do it. So like I said, you can go to your code editor and add it into the actual template for every single blog post page. Or if you don't have access to that, and this is really important to you, then you can go and add that little snippet of code into the source code area for every blog post you write. Okay, yay. So we have now got awesome share buttons where we want them in our blog, and you guys now know how to do that.